What is going on, everybody? My name is Ciara Lawler. Welcome to another week of Movie Mondays. This is the Heroes for Hire podcast. We are back again talking all the week's movie news, entertainment news, and just generally having a bit of a chit-chat about everything to do with film. As always, I am joined by my partner in crime, Mr. Shaun Mead. Shaun, how is it going?
Excited, Connor. Big week for movies this week. Big happenings in Hollywood. We're about to talk all about them. This show catalogues the most important movie news of the week.
He's taking the piss out of me because I've got to be honest with you, listeners. I'm going to be honest. I let you all down. I've let Shaun down. I've let everyone listening down. We said we were going to do our Shang-Chi review this week, our spoiler-filled review, and unfortunately I was unable to clear up my schedule enough to go see it before this recording.
He had too many Hollywood parties to get to.
I had too many parties. I'm a busy man, Shaun. I've got things to do. Okay?
He's closing deals across the country.
I'm still poor somehow. But, so I was unable to go see it. And so then I was like, Shaun, would you be nice and we could do it next week? And he was kind enough to stop beating me and then say, fine, we can do it next week, but don't fucking be sure you see it. And then he did like a knuckle sandwich kind of thing.
If you text me next Saturday, just like, oh, Shaun, you're not going to believe it.
I forgot. Oh, no.
Then I'll do a review on my own.
So we are unable to review Shang-Chi this week, but we will have our spoiler-filled review next week. So, yeah, that's something to look forward to. But, Shaun, it's pretty big happenings in the movie world this week. And we're starting with... Oh, boys. I don't want to say the biggest trailer ever. Now, Spider-Man a few weeks ago broke the record, okay? And it beat Avengers.
Some would say.
It beat Avengers Endgame, Avengers Infinity War, blah, blah, blah. But this movie, we've been waiting for many years. Personally, I feel like this is the movie of the podcast. And that is Moonfall, Shaun. We've had the trailer for Roland Emmerich's next disaster epic.
And my God, does it deliver on everything it promises to be. Now, it's only a teaser. It's just to give us a taste of what the moon falling into the earth would be like.
It is the best... It's the best 90 seconds of cinema you will see this week, including Shang-Chi.
Oh, big claims from a man who hasn't seen it.
I'm going in hard.
Now, okay. Can I just say something about... And I feel like...
Also, if you haven't seen it, pause this now. It's only 90 seconds. Go watch it, and then come back, because we have thoughts, and this movie is crazy. Go on.
It's ridiculous. Just one thing, and it made me like just think about who I am as a person, is that the start of this trailer is JFK being like, oh, and people are like, why the moon? And I say, you might as well ask, why would you climb the highest mountain? And I'm like, that's a valid question as well.
Once again, you've nailed it.
Maybe I'm just lazy. Maybe I have no drive. But I don't want to climb the highest mountain because you get up and it's like class, and then you have to come down again.
They don't have a train. You can't get a bus back down. If you go to Everest, you're coming back down the hard way, and that's even worse. You do that little run, and your knees start buckling underneath you.
That's it. And look, that's why I've started my new business, hang gliders off Everest. It's called.
Nobody's ever bought anything. They've never made it.
I've made them myself from things I found on the way up the mountain.
Can I just ask, do you sell them up there, or do you sell them prior to them giving them another bag to carry up Everest?
Oh no, it's at the foot of the mountain. I give you a hang glider that you have to look after. There's also, it's €1,000 of a deposit as well. So
interesting. You have to bring it back.
You have to bring it back. But the return is at the top of the mountain, weirdly enough, so you have to choose.
And you're somehow up there when they arrive.
Yeah, I'm like a video game character. I just warp up.
They're like, how? I hang glided up. I did. You probably don't know how that works. I'm an expert.
You ever seen Marilyn Monroe above the subway? It's that principle, but me with a hang glider.
And a Hoover.
What's the Hoover doing?
Just blowing the hang glider up.
Hoovers don't blow.
They do. Yeah, some of them do, I'm sure.
They make a vacuum to clean.
I disagree, Shaun. I don't clean the house. So, never have, never will.
For that.
Yeah, I'm making deals. So, Shaun, Moonfall. We've had this teaser trailer. I'm genuinely so excited to talk about this movie with you because I know for a fact that you think this is ridiculous and dumb. And I normally hate disaster movies. They're all bad, except for Independence Day, which is also kind of not great, but it's kind of cool in the 90s.
It has a bit of a pass, I think, because it's kind of iconic.
Yeah, it's nostalgia. But most of them are all just like, Jez, the world's in shite. What are we going to do? Nothing. It's been grand.
We'll end up on a big boat outside of Madagascar, according to 2012, starring John Cusack.
So, Shaun, Moonfall. We've had the teaser trailer. What stood out to you here? It stars Halle Berry. It's got the guy from Game of Thrones. I can't remember his name. Samuel Tarly from Game of Thrones. John Bradley, I think is his name.
Yes.
It's got Charlie Plummer in it. Donald Sutherland's in it. Michael Pena. It's got Patrick Wilson. It's a pretty good cast.
I was quite pleased to see Donald Sutherland, as I genuinely thought that he had died. So I'm like, Donald's still about. Class.
That's good. What did you think of the big star of the show? And he creeps up on you. You don't really see him the first time around. Is the moon.
Big moon. The moon. My God. Look, I will say, the effects, even for like an early trailer, effects look pretty good in terms of a moon crashing to Earth.
Oh, by the way, sorry, the plot of this movie is that
do it.
Okay, here we go. So, we have the moon, and we have the Earth. And Roland Emmerich came up with the idea that what if the moon fell out of orbit? Now, that is the words that are written here as this plot summary. The moon fell out of orbit. I don't know if the moon can fall, but it did. It fell out of orbit.
It fell out of orbit. Gravity, like the host of questions that's raised by the moon falling out. It's ridiculous. But my issue is, how do you fight this? Because the only way that anything can end happily and that life can return as normal is if you put the moon back.
Yeah, that's the plot.
The moon. But there's bits of the moon breaking off. Tides are fucked on land or the sea, I guess, but it affects the land.
Isn't it like a thing that if the moon moved like an inch, we'd all be dead?
Something like that, yeah.
So I think moving the moon the whole way to Earth, like travelling that distance, that might cause a bit of a flood.
I wager you can take this movie and the latest Fast and Furious and cut them together, and it would make sense.
It would. Have you seen the latest Fast and Furious?
No, I've not seen any of them except for half of Tokyo Drift.
No, have you not seen 7?
You gave me 7 on DVD. I
haven't watched it, you bastard.
But I did watch X-Men: The Last Stand, which you also gave.
2 great birthday presents, if you ask me.
I'm reading through the comments on this trailer, and some of them are amazing. So, one man says, this is like every Emmerich film ever made, mashed into a single script. It's going to be terrible, and yet I'll watch it on day one.
Yeah, because here's the thing. When you go to like 2012, Independence Day, aliens come, all this shit, you gotta keep one-upping yourself. So what's even bigger than aliens? The moon.
Then it's the sun next, is what I'd be working on,
the sun is obviously the sequel, I can only assume, yes.
Also, writer takes a hit of a spray paint can. What if the villain was the moon? Think about it, man. The fucking moon.
How do we fight the moon, man? We can't.
With a ragtag... Is it a ragtag team? Like...
Yeah, so Halle Berry is going to lead her own... This is the plot. So Halle Berry... The moon's coming. Yeah. No, the moon's come. Which I think my favourite part of the teaser trailer is when the moon pops out slowly, like it sneaks up on us.
The moon is like Michael Myers. Like you look around and it's just there.
Do you think there's going to be a scene where like someone turns and the moon isn't there, and then they turn back around and the moon is just there? What the fuck? How'd you get there?
There's going to be a scene like someone's in like the bathroom and the mirror is ajar, and then they push the mirror and then the moon is behind them.
Or like the moon is trying to do like the 360 head thing, but it's like you're the moon. Like it has no difference. I'm not scared of this.
But it takes place over the course of like a month, because that's how long it takes the moon to swivel.
Good stuff. So Halle Berry is going to lead a ragtag team that's going to save the planet.
Yes.
So the moon's coming to Earth. It's sneaking up on us. It's here. And, well, I don't know if it can sneak. But then Halle Berry's like, I got a team and somehow we're going to save Earth. But apparently the moon has some moon tricks up its moon sleeve, Shaun.
Yeah, the moon can fight back, it turns out. There's like alien worm things. Let's address that. Why? How? So it's it's a movie about the moon falling out of orbit and hitting the Earth. But also there's aliens, I believe.
Oh, yeah, well, the way they wrote it in the summary is that a mysterious force knocks the moon from its orbit, which, I mean, definitely aliens or some sort of weird... What could knock the moon? No, some kind of, like, toe on the moon.
Okay, what if Big Rocket hit moon? No?
Oh, Big Rocket hit moon, like a snooker cue.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what I'm getting at. But also, like, at that point, why not just fly that thing into the Earth? If it's big enough to move the moon, it will end all life on Earth.
So, I'm still reading the summary, by the way, and I think you need to hear this whole thing. So, suddenly and without warning, a mysterious force knocks the moon from its orbit around Earth and sends it hurtling on a collision course with life as we know it. With mere weeks before the impact, and against all odds, a ragtag team launches an impossible last-ditch mission into space, leaving behind everyone they love, and risking everything to land on the lunar surface, unlock its secrets, and save our planet.
What?
Unlock its secrets? What do you know?
It's some kind of cave of wonders hidden in the moon, and the National Treasure tree, Connor.
Oh yeah,
something to do with space, perhaps. Huh?
I mean,
treasure in the moon.
I wouldn't put it past National Treasure, but the idea that the plan is that they're going to fly to the moon, that's coming to Earth, land on it, and then profit.
But my question is, and this is a bold question to ask, would this movie be more interesting if it was just the moon falling out of orbit? No unseen force, no secrets of the moon.
But first they must battle an unknown and unfathomable power that will challenge everything as we know it about the moon, the universe, and ourselves, Shaun.
But imagine watching people come to terms with the moon falling down.
You wouldn't have to. They'd all be dead. If the moon moved at all, we're dead.
We need the moon a lot, it turns out.
There wouldn't be a situation where the moon would start falling and you would say, well, we have a few weeks to figure this out before it gets here.
How quickly can you ragtag together a crew for a space shuttle?
You'd want to ragtag them in about 64 seconds, and then after that, you probably have another 70 seconds before death.
There's going to be a whole bunch of, videos from Variety and Vanity Fair being like, real scientist breaks down Roland Emmerich's Moonfall. And it's just going to be like a man with a PhD or a woman with a PhD having a stroke on camera for 45 minutes.
Oh, here we go. I'm just reading Roland's interview. It's not extraterrestrial, Shaun.
Oh.
It's the twist. So, if you like my movies...
Wait, let me guess.
Go on.
Either werewolves or ghosts. moon-based werewolves.
Well, I mean, I assumed, Sean. I'm not going to assume Earth-based ghosts and werewolves, obviously. They turn up and there's more ghosts. I have more questions than answers. Why are there ghosts on the moon?
What? From all the, like... Yeah, because that
Who
that
died
implies
up there?
They have unfinished business on the moon.
Like, they turned up and a load of furniture is all planted on top of each other. Oh, fuck, lads. This place is haunted.
A load of cupboards. Like, there's just a kitchen set up, like an IKEA showroom on the room, on the moon. And then all the cupboards open at once. But there's no sound because it's space.
And it's called a show moon. And then the question is, like, one of the astronauts is like, who put that sign up? Who's been here? This is very weird.
What's going on?
This seems set up. This seems like a gag. Set up for jokes.
Set up for jokes and laughs. Sorry, I interrupted you. Roland says it's not extraterrestrial.
If you like my movies, you'll like this movie because it's the same. It's very much like 2012 and Independence Day. It's a mix of the two, but without an extraterrestrial element. There is a big twist at some point, but I don't want to give that away now. I had a very clear idea about the tone I wanted on this film.
Right. So it's definitely ghosts.
Also, he says there's comic relief in it. He says, if you look at the original Star Wars, or all the Marvel movies, you have to have a laugh as well. Which I think is slightly different. Because, I mean, it's a fantastical world where Thor exists, and so I'd like fancy our chances. Whereas here, we just have a ragtag group trying to stop the moon.
Yeah, like, if this movie is set in, like, 2022, for example, like, we know the technology of our time, and we know we couldn't survive the moon falling out of orbit. So there's no hope watching that.
Well, even more, he says that he sees this movie as having franchise potential, Sean, which...
The director of the film would say that.
But has there ever been a worse idea than making a franchise out of a movie that involves the moon crashing into Earth?
How do you follow up to that? Like, does the moon, like, come back? Is the moon...
No,
the moon is a friend
wrecks.
in the next one.
Yeah, the moon isn't the enemy, but then he's an anti-hero in the next one, and the sun comes along, and the moon's like, fuck it, this is my battle. I gotta jump in, guys.
And then the moon heroically sacrifices himself to save the Earth from the sun by killing the sun, and then...
And himself.
And himself. But then, and then here's what you do, here's where you make it really fun, is that you have 8 minutes of credits, and then everyone on Earth freezes to death. Yeah, they just, like, there's the big heroic moment where everyone in NASA's like, yeah! And we have the credits, and then it cuts back and everyone's just ice. Like, the whole place is just done. It's ice and darkness, and, like, but then you need a big twist at the end, so, like, a fist comes up from the ground, but it's the
Mars.
Moon. Mars! It's Mars!
Mars turns up.
I love it. We're seeing this movie, right? I mean, I'll see it a week before you, obviously. But
I'm a busy man, Sean. We can't all have no plans. Okay. So, but yeah, I think we need to see this movie and do a review on it. But I hate these movies. But sometimes an idea is so terrible that it deserves to be watched, just so we can... Maybe Roland needs the money. I mean, he's working hard.
That's it. I think we learned from this, you know, and look, at the very worst, it gives us an idea of what to do if the moon falls out of orbit. We'll have a frame of reference for that.
Now, all the people that don't see it, when the moon starts falling, you are going to be shitting yourself looking for that VHS tape. Where the fuck did I put it? Quick, put it in! I want to see what happens.
Rewind!
We already know. Don't worry, fellow citizens. I know what to do.
And then just relay the plot and be like, now, if we can get that in place, we'll be sorted.
Now, does anyone have some comic relief? Because I think this is needed now, like in Star Wars or Marvel. What?
Yes.
The moon. Oh, we're dead. All right.
Right. Been nice knowing you. Been nice knowing you all, folks.
Roland, keep doing what you're doing. Keep being you. I want to know everything about this. Let's bring another trailer out next week. I want to see more. We're going to move on, Shaun, because I think we could talk about that movie all day. That excites me to no end.
That's true. But I think there is other news that we need to get to.
A movie I'm not so excited about. Spiderman No Way Home, Shaun.
Interesting.
Now,
bold move.
A lot of people like it. A lot of people are thinking, that looks cool. I don't know who's going to be in it. Looks cool,
I think it looks cool.
Yeah, and look, you're a nerd. You probably are wrong. But a big thing this week, and I wouldn't normally do this because this is a star of the film giving away spoilers as the news story. But
I think I've heard this
is so
one.
funny because it's a gotcha question from the journalist, first of all, which isn't great, but it's so far past where he should have stopped that it's funny. Then Kevin Feige woke. I can only imagine Kevin Feige's tucked up in bed and he just like sits straight up like an arrow in the bed and is like, something terrible has happened.
Is this are we talking about JB Smoove here?
JB Smoove casually drops several major spoilers for No Way Home
in like the space of 2 minutes.
It's a machine gun of terrible stuff.
Look, it's great news for us, the fans, but for
also it's
Marvel
all news. It's all news we already knew, but it's funny because
it's all but confirmed at this point.
Yeah, and why it's funny is because we already kind of knew this, so like he's not releasing anything that we didn't kind of already think about, or that's obviously happening. But it's funny that everybody else has been like shut tight. They haven't let Tom Holland do anything because they're like, you will spoil this.
You are the worst for this one. Alfred Molina, you too.
Alfred's not great either. But I like the idea Kevin Feige's like, JB, I can trust you. He's a pretty cool guy. So we'll let him off, let him have a chat.
Tom Holland famously wasn't given a full script for Infinity War and Endgame because he couldn't be trusted.
JB was given his script.
JB just knows everything, it turns out.
And so JB Smoove, he's confirmed some major long rumoured cameos in the film.
I wonder who.
So it's all the people we expect. So the actor who appeared throughout the MCU Spider-Man franchise was asked during a red carpet event who he was most excited to see Tom Holland share the screen with in Spider-Man No Way Home. Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield. Now, that is a gotcha question if I've ever heard it.
That is a loaded question.
It's an absolute loaded question. And I'm not a big fan of journalists being dickheads and like trying to get them on the red camera. Like, give me a one scoop. I'm going to load this question up. But it is funny that everyone else in that cast would go, you got to wait till the movie. Because Kevin will fucking kill my family if I reveal anything.
Or just like, look, I think either of those guys would be great on screen with Tom Holland if they were in it.
Yeah, exactly. And without hesitation, which is my favourite bit, he replied, Tobey Maguire. I love Tobey Maguire, man.
Oh no, JB, you've gone so wrong.
So that's that then. I mean, it all seems far too easy. It's all done. He's revealed a bit of a plot, but look, what can you do? I mean, it happens. But I mean, he not just confirmed Tobey Maguire with that answer, but also Andrew Garfield, which is good.
True.
So he no doubt Kevin Feige was already lining up the sniper shot. Like, he had the sniper ready to go from the building across the way. Smoove then also confirms immediately after what Manny had already suspected, revealing that Jamie Foxx will also be in the movie as Electro.
Oh no.
Without prompting, he said, Jamie Foxx is coming back, baby. Come on. What's up, Jamie? That's my dude right there. I'm very excited about it.
Jesus Christ. Now look, to be fair, Jamie Foxx put up an Instagram like a year ago, basically saying he was back. So that one as well, it's not on JB fully, I don't think. It's just
Now,
the freedom with which he gives the information is funny.
Despite constant denials and pushbacks, it has been hotly rumoured that, of course, Maguire and Garfield will be in the film, but nobody in the cast, other than maybe Alfred Molina, but even he only confirmed himself. He didn't confirm anybody else. And so everybody's been under wraps. As I said, Tom Holland locked in a basement somewhere. They do not let him out to do anything until maybe December.
Even then. I would
then.
say January.
Yeah, I'd say
after it's out.
A month after it's out. But the fact that he was just like, oh yeah, I'm really excited about Tom Maguire. And then just unprompted, and Jamie Foxx, man, I can't wait to see him, he's my guy.
And Willem Dafoe. And Dane DeHaan.
Everybody's back. I was looking around going, who are all these people? They're not in my movies, they're in other movies.
And Emma Stone as Spider-Gwen. And
yeah, I'm a big
all
fan
of
of Emma.
Aunt Mays.
Big fan of Emma. I think she deserved that Oscar a few years ago. She's real good.
Real good actress. Yeah. Do you think there's room for any surprises in this movie at this point?
Not really. I know Charlie Cox denied that he was in the trailer last week or this week. Someone was like, is that you in the trailer? And I think he was like, oh no, I'm not, that's not me. But I mean, I'm pretty sure he
say though.
Because that's what you're meant to say, Shaun. That's what you're meant to say.
You're meant to deny everything.
You're meant to, like, they're really good at, like, just handing everything off. Like, just let it slide off. And then afterwards you go, oh, wasn't that cool?
Yeah.
But it's harder in this day and age because, like, well, shows like us or, like, anybody is just, like, constantly trying to get information.
This is true, but also it's been delayed quite a bit, this movie. Like, so there's been all these additional months, if not a year, of speculation and, like, for cracks to form and rumours to leak out and things like that. So I think it's just, if this movie had come out a year ago, I don't think we would have gotten as many leaks as we have.
Yeah, and I think it's important to know that JB Smoove is a nice man. Kevin,
yes,
if you're listening, JB seems cool.
Yeah, look, we would always recommend Mercy. Kevin, if I know, not meaning to tell you your place. But
imagine, like, he's in the middle of doing, like, an affidavit for Scarlett Johansson and someone comes in and tells him, whispers into his ear, and he just takes off his glasses slowly, puts, fuck's sake. Okay, bring him in. I need to sort him out.
I read during the week, I can't remember which Marvel star it was, but apparently when you get the role, when you get given a role in Marvel, you get a call from a Kevin Feige's burner phone and he tells you, and someone then, I think I want to say it might have been Simu Liu, but I'm not sure.
I think it was.
Yeah, he I think revealed something. And he just got a text from an unknown number one day that said strike one.
Honestly, I just like the idea that Kevin Feige just watch it, like, he reads everything. And he has, like, he's hired 3 people that just scour the internet constantly to, if any of his toys reveal anything, he's going to kill them.
What do you think that he'll, like, start seeding fake rumours in the future, like what they did with Infinity War, where you had Hulk in the trailer and stuff like that, like that to another level? Like, he'll just bring in random actors for no reason. Yeah,
I think he probably will start doing that. I mean, with his level of reach, he can do whatever he wants. And at that stage, it's a case of, like, he can hire whoever they want for one day. Tom Cruise, he's in Marvel now, but he's Keanu Reeves, he's also in Marvel. Let's just not ask.
Can I just say as well, and look, being a Marvel fan and being, you know, on the internet and in these communities, like, it's a fucking nightmare anytime Marvel does anything. Because Marvel the other day wished Keanu Reeves a happy birthday. Yeah, and then everyone was like, oh, he's in Marvel. He's in the MCU. And I got like 400 push notifications from Screen Rant. They're all from Screen Rant.
they just keep ranting. Stop ranting about screens.
Stop ranting. Stop having the first 2 paragraphs of every article be useless.
That's something to take to the bank, Screen Rant. Shaun has some thoughts about how you can improve.
Look, put me as head of Screen Rant and I'll stop this ranting.
Stop the website. Just stop it dead.
I was being like, lads, people get their news when they want, okay?
People just go to Twitter, scroll. Someone says so, then somebody else just like, that's happened. We're just going to not even look it up.
No, not even get rid of Twitter. We don't need it. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out on our own.
Yeah, okay. Hearsay and rumour.
That's it. Didn't we get by for years on hearsay and rumour?
We did.
That's what made Ireland great.
Shaun, I have hearsay and rumour to follow this up.
Yes.
This week, a trailer dropped that we're not going to cover because, I mean, Jesus Christ, we do not need to. And that is the James Bond final trailer for No Time to Die. That this movie is still coming out.
It's still coming out, apparently. But, like, here's the thing. Every No Time to Die trailer has preceded Ireland going into another lockdown. So I am real nervous.
They can predict it. He hates the Emerald Isles, Daniel Craig. But I like the idea that this movie... Also, there's a Twitter page that I seen during the week that is just like, has No Time to Die come out yet? And every day just tweets no.
It's got 4 billion tweets.
But what's going to happen after No Time to Die, Shaun? Because, of course... This movie was meant to come out 1.5 years ago. We were meant to have long since moved on. And the studio has meant to long since moved on. And that meant picking another James Bond. And so there's been lots of talk that recently they're like, we're not even going to enter into the rumour mill due to the fact that technically Daniel is still James Bond for another, I can only assume 3 years until this movie comes out.
That's it. It's going to have the longest theatrical run of any James Bond movie ever.
Yeah.
After we wait another 3 years. So
we've got 2 pretty big frontrunners currently already lined up. And I was just wondering how you felt, because I know you're not big on James Bond, but the 2 big frontrunners are Bridgerton's Róisín Page, which pretty good.
Yes.
And the second one is a little known actor known as Henry Cavill from Man of Steel, apparently.
Right. Interesting. Both of those would be excellent choices, I think.
Very suave men.
Very suave men. I think Henry Cavill was denied the role of Bond once because he was too big.
So he was denied the role before Daniel Craig. And the reason for that was, as you said, he was too big muscle-wise, but not fame-wise. But since then, he's just the same size in terms of muscle, but also now 1 million times bigger. So they'll probably have to pay him like triple the price. That's the thing. I'm a man. I don't know who I'd prefer. Honestly, would you go even someone younger, or would you go one of them? Because I think you bring in Henry Cavill, I think he only has maybe 2 in him.
Maybe that's true. He already has quite a few series is going at the minute.
And also, I think, and this sounds weird, but I think Henry Cavill would find it very hard to hide in a room as a spy.
Yeah, you'd look at him, wouldn't you?
I think no matter who you were, he's 6'3" and he's built like. Someone said he's built like one of those classic cigarette machines. Like he's a head on a cigarette machine body. Like he's a gigantic man, and he doesn't look too bad in a suit. So I think if he walked in anywhere, it would be very hard for him to be undercover.
Yeah. And look, I think Róisín Page would, like, he's kind of fresher in terms of, like, he's just gotten the big acclaim because of Bridgerton and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he's in... What else is he in coming up? Knives Out 2? What was it? Knives Out 2?
Dungeons and Dragons film as well.
Dungeons and Dragons, that was it. Both equally good properties, for sure. But I think he'd be more... Because to be fair, we've seen Henry Cavill as a spy in a couple of things at this point.
Man from Uncle. Very good.
Man from Uncle, Mission Impossible. And where he could wind up his punches.
Imagine a scene in the next James Bond where he just pumps his arms ready to go. He activates the arms.
But I think they might go Regé Page for the Bridgerton fame. Something like bring something new to Bond, like something that's, because it's been very samey for a very long time, I feel.
Yeah, and I think, for a lot of years Idris Elba was thrown around as well, but I think that ship has now sailed, sadly. I think he would have been really good. I think I don't think Henry Cavill is the right choice. I'm sure he'd do an excellent job, but I think they should probably go a bit younger. And I don't know how old Henry Cavill is, like 35?
I was going to say like 38 or something like that. But yeah, the thing is, like, I think he has enough ongoing stuff at the minute. Like he's probably back as Superman at some point. He's in The Witcher. He has Highlander coming up, the Highlander reboot. So
yeah,
I feel like he doesn't need another fucking major franchise under his belt.
They've also apparently tried to get George McKay from 1917. He's the youngest person they've tried to get. He's 29. So I think they're looking at him maybe to go a bit of a younger James Bond.
Do you know what would be a fucking power move if you get Taron Egerton in?
That's pretty good. And he could sing.
He could sing. He could be Rocket Man at the same time.
he could sing Elton John songs all day, lad.
Maybe if I was a bigger Bond fan, I'd be more invested in this. Like, because bookies do take bets and stuff like that on who the next Bond is going to be. But I'm just like, look, whoever it is, I'll probably see a couple of the movies, but not all of them.
Unless it's someone we really like.
Yes, absolutely.
Taika Waititi. Taika Waititi is the new James Bond.
My God. What if they did that and they just said fuck you to all the Bond fans?
And they let him write and direct it.
Oh God. No, nothing against him as a director or a writer. Academy Award winner Taika Waititi.
He's not bad.
He's not bad.
The shoes.
I really don't.
The shoes.
Oh, the shoes. I really don't think his tone would fit James Bond very well.
I think they need a change up. Fuck it. It's been going too long, samey. Change it completely up, because you've already gone the Daniel Craig route that he puts heads through sinks. Go far the other end. Like,
I'd like to see Bond himself be different though, and not just be the same womanising piece of shit that he's been for nigh on 80 years.
Yeah, okay, I can see that. Shaun, we're going to move on to our next piece of news, and it involves critic reactions that are split for a movie that is about to come out as a pretty big film. And that is Dune. I say it wrong every time.
Yeah, that's the most wrong you've ever gotten, I think.
Rune. No, that's a different take. RuneScape. First reactions. So the Dune first reactions are split, apparently, Shaun. Critics call it both brilliant and disappointing.
Oh, wait. Those two things mean different things.
So a lot of critics are saying that it does a really, really great job of world building.
Class.
So it builds all, because there's a lot of things to introduce in that world. And it is only part one, technically, but they haven't greenlit part two. That's a whole thing. But
this movie is like the first half of the first book.
Yeah, and so it's apparently 5 stars for world building. Excellent. 2.5 stars for storytelling, which I feel like I can see why they did that, because I mean, every part one of every series is normally the setup.
Yeah, you have to establish a lot of things there. Okay, is there more written there? Because I do have some thoughts.
No, go on. I'm okay with your thoughts if you want to go.
I think storytelling is a really hard one to critique when it is the first half of the first part of a book. I will say the first Dune book, it's not fun at the first half of it, because you're just inundated with all this stuff that you're trying to process.
It's like reading the Game of Thrones books as well. Like, or like anything. Like you watch, if you watch a pilot of any show, the first episode is always like, John, do you remember when you dated my sister for 3 years, 20 years ago?
Yes, it's like character motivation. And another thing is that a lot of the like things that go on in June are characters thinking to themselves. Like, but now that has to all be done like on screen, like expositing to people, basically. So, to give you a sense of the length or the difference between some of the reviews, one we have from The Independent says that the movie absolutely fucking slaps. It's absolutely amazing. And then the other one says, unfortunately, that it's very hyper polished, hard to touch, and it's an unending glossary of terms describing places, peoples, religious traditions, and political systems for the whole film. Oh, but they've literally just described Dune, though.
That's the book.
That's all it is. Like. Now, look, I get watching that for... I think it's a fairly long runtime as well, isn't it? It's like 2.5,
apparently
3 hours.
3 hours, yeah.
Like, yeah, I get how sitting through that for 3 hours could be a bit of a slog. But I think... And this is a really gatekeepy and shitty thing to say. And I'm not 100% behind it, but I do think fans of Dune will probably like that.
But I think, if going in expecting it. Now, what might catch people, and like obviously there's probably hundreds of views all different ways, but I was just interested to see even the initial reaction to something this big, because as I said, I'd heard it was 3 hours long. It's technically a part one. When you read all that on paper, if it was any other movie, you'd go, that's going to be a bad idea. Like, a 3 hour part one to a 2-parter seems like an awful idea.
That's very true. I want to see if I can find, just to see if there's any comparison at all, initial reviews for The Lord of the Rings.
That's the first thing I thought of as well, was the Lord of the Rings trilogy. That, I mean, they're all 3 hours. If you want to do extended, you can go 4. But, like, they have a problem as well, where, not a problem, but, like, you have to introduce 20 characters and motivations and where everyone is, so that by the time you get to the end of the film, people have grown.
Yeah, and okay, so Roger Ebert gave it 3 stars on his famous 4-star system. And then other people are like, it's a good introduction, kind of excited to see where it goes, kind of a thing. So initial reaction seems like it was more approachable, the Fellowship of the Ring.
Okay.
But whereas Dune seems to have gone hard on a fairly literal adaptation, which is just, this is the world, this is everything laid out, this is all important. And
I think the main thing, actually, the one thing that kept propping up in all the reviews was Jason Momoa apparently steals every scene that he's in.
Good. That character is such a good character.
As Duncan, Idaho.
Yeah. Such a cool character. So good to know he's doing well in it.
Yeah, apparently he absolutely nails it.
Excellent. Anything on Timothée Chalamet? What?
They said that he had some heartfelt performances.
Okay. Oh, bless you, Connor. God, you're allergic to heartfelt performances. Oh no.
I just want grit.
You want a moon falling out of orbit.
That's all I want, Shaun. So yeah, there are some of the initial reviews. If you were interested, it's coming out, I think, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, October 22nd. So next month. Next month.
Not too long to wait.
I keep thinking it's August, but it's September now. That is fucking weird.
See, it was August last week, you see.
Oh, see, thanks very much. Yeah.
No matter.
Actually, it kind of feels like March 2019 a little bit to me. 2020.
Just never ends. Just keeps going.
So we're moving on to our next piece of news, Shaun, and we have another franchise in the works. Woo! Jungle Cruise. The sequel
No.
has been greenlit, Sean. Dwayne Johnson, Emily Blunt, returning for Jungle Cruise 2. This time it's personal. Electric Boogaloo, Curse of the Black Pearl.
Is every live-action adaptation of a Disney ride just going to get a sequel now?
I think they've figured out the formula. I mean, the idea is you release one to... I mean, normally the first one is good. I heard Jungle Cruise is grand. But normally the first one is quite good. Then you slowly choose one character and make another 5 movies about them, progressively making it worse and worse.
Yes, yeah, you're not too wrong there. And like, I guess fine. I'm glad that The Rock and Emily Blunt are still getting work.
I think they'd be alright.
I think they'll figure it out, yeah. But like, I don't know how. Like, I'm not any more interested in Jungle Cruise now that I've heard it's gotten a sequel, because I have no idea what that movie's about, other than the fact that The Rock wears a little hat and pilots a boat.
So I think the idea is that The Rock is he's dead. He's not alive in it, and he's only stuck to the Amazon. That's the twist. And so think of the plot of the Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
Oh,
that.
I'm on board. I'm back on board.
And they bring him back to life.
They bring him back to life at the end of the movie.
I think at the end, I think he's like he's a ghost who's stuck to that river or that part of the Amazon, right?
Right.
And then at the end, they bring him back because Emily Blunt's like, "You deserve to live. Come on, boy."
Oh, are you being serious or are you taking the piss?
No, that's the plot.
Really?
Yeah.
It's fucking wild.
It's Pirates of the Caribbean again.
Oh man, like, okay, so in the second one then we need to introduce Bill Nye in some way.
We need to introduce a big wheel. How do we introduce a big wheel on a piece of water?
It's the most natural thing in the world,
but Connor. It's a cruise. You can't use the wheel on
one
the cruise.
One of those old-timey fucking Tom Sawyer ships with the big paddle wheel on the side.
So you're thinking...
steamboat.
Yeah, and so The Rock on top of the big wheel, like going backwards, whoa, right? Yeah. But then the enemy is there as well, trying to like stab him with like a sword.
Presumably the enemy in this case would be death.
Yeah, I suppose all enemies are death, Sean, when you really think about it. But I would say who's playing the enemy, probably some, I don't know, actor who's good and monologues.
And okay, so you could get Roman Reigns. He's just my new
very good
choice
for
everything.
You've never even seen him act.
No, I haven't. I think he was in he was in Fast and Furious recently.
No, he was in Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah, that's a Fast and Furious fucking universe,
technically, Connor. Yeah, universe, not film.
I'm getting pretty furious and fast myself.
Oh my god.
Right.
You're pretty quick on those middle fingers.
Look, I'm not mad that movies get sequels. I
am mad that this and Cruella are getting sequels, though.
Yeah, still a bit pissed off about Cruella, actually. But I guess it's just they have all the stuff in place now. Like, they have the jungle, they have like Dwayne and Emily, they have all those dogs that they have yet to skin. So that's why Cruella 2 is happening.
So many dogs. They haven't been skinned yet.
I mean, look, we will wait and see what happens. Do you think it would be a Disney Plus only thing, or would they do the full release?
The first one made a bit of money, but I think they'd want to put it out full release. I don't think The Rock does Disney Plus.
No, I don't think. Maybe The Rock 10 years ago might have done Disney Plus.
Yeah, Rock now is like, release it, we'll make 400 million, I'll take like 20% of that.
Bye. See you for Jungle Cruise 3.
Talk to us after. So we're moving on, Sean, to our next piece of news, and this news might excite you, and because I know you like films, and I know you like a certain film that involves zombies.
I do. It's like 28 Days Later.
It's on a train.
Snowpiercer?
No, different train zombie film.
There's no zombies in Snowpiercer, to be fair. Train zombie film.
Train to Busan.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
You should be kicked off the show for not knowing what movie I was referencing.
You should have given better descriptions, Connor.
No, of course. On a train with zombies.
Name 2 key elements of Train to Busan.
So we know all that movie came out, Shaun, and people liked it. But the problem was people liked it, but it was in a foreign language. It wasn't in English, and I'm not reading for a movie, right? I'm not having it.
Right. Okay. So what's the next logical solution?
Hollywood has thought of it, Shaun. So that movie, great critical acclaim, one of the greatest horror movies of all time, absolutely revered everywhere. Let's change it up. What if we did an American remake of Train to Busan? And that is happening now, Shaun.
Okay, so, but this is like, I think no, sorry, I'm thinking of Battle Royale versus Hunger Games. Mm-hmm. It's going to be the same thing, just very watered down, probably.
Yeah, I suppose. Now, the director has gotten a lot of shit this week. The director that they hired. But it's just it's a case of, we had this movie and it was really good, but I can't read subtitles because I'm dumb. I can't read that quick. So, give me the movie again, but hire a bunch of English and American people to do the bits.
Is this like, this would be like remaking Parasite, though? Like, part of the charm...
that'll happen.
I think Mark Ruffalo is casting that already. Because it's absolutely Mark Ruffalo would be in that.
Absolutely.
But the thing about it is, like, and I guess fine, localise things, but a lot of what makes the original films great are the experiences and the like culture that it's made in. So like you can't just copy like a South Korean film over to American and you just make it American, because it changes the story and it changes the impact of things.
Well, I mean, where's the train going?
Train to Ohio. No. Washington?
Are they still on Busan? But I bet like it'll be all the Korean people will get turned to zombies and our American heroes will survive.
Oh, if they did, what if they did? Okay, so it's like an American family on vacation in South Korea.
Exactly.
And they save the day. That would be fucking horrendous, and I want to see it.
I think, but like not horrendous as in, wow, what a horror film. Like horrendous as in, Jesus, that's a horror. I mean, they're like, I'm trying to think of if there's any examples of, really good adaptations of non-English language films that exist. Because Let the Right One In is shit. Did they remake The Raid?
I don't think they did.
I don't think they did. Maybe they didn't.
No.
Although there's been like probably many copycats, but I don't think they actually just took the script and just remade it again.
Yeah. So like I don't know if there's precedence for any of these movies ever being good. But I just think just watch Train to Busan. I would rather watch it, like, if I wanted it in English, I would watch a dubbed version of it.
Yeah. Or like just read. It's fine.
Just learn to read. Oh, my toddler can't watch Train to Busan. Oh no.
He loves trains. Loves them. For God's sake.
You just seen the kid really likes Thomas the Tank Engine, and they've gotten the wrong end of the stick. It's like, it's about train.
They walked in to this old store. It was like, do you have any movies about trains? And he's like, oh, we only have one, Train to Busan. Oh, what's that about? It's just a family going, it's a father and his daughter, and they go to Busan on the train.
Thought of a really good remake of a non-English language property. Scarlett Johansson's Ghost in the Shell. Of course.
The best movie of all time.
Famed Asian actress Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, and she nearly played... Wasn't there a joke that she was going to play a tree?
She could play a tree or something like that, yeah.
Look,
Old Boy's all right as a remake.
I mean, when we have to look it up, I feel like you've gone wrong. When we have to like look up, like, oh, what a good movies are remakes.
Yeah, you're probably right there. I just thought, I wanted some precedence. Maybe Train to Busan, the American edition, will be a better film. But
that's absolute sacrilege and not a hope that happens.
No. Now, do I want to see a South Korean version of 28 Days Later? Absolutely.
Oh, that'd be better. That'd be so
much better.
Oh, shit, and you love 28 Days Later.
It's my favourite movie.
Oh, yes. We're finishing off this week, Shaun, with just a small piece of news that I thought you might like, because the Venom rating came out this week.
Oh, please tell me it's G.
So, look, what's the one thing these Venom movies, what do they need? They need, because Venom in the comic books, he's very, he's a PG kind of guy.
He's kind of a, not, I would say PG-13? No, I would say he will eat a man's face. Like, he's a violent, bloody mess of a character. Even more so is serial killer Cletus Cassidy, who is also in Venom, Let There Be Carnage.
Yeah, he's the villain. So, now the first one...
He would be R, if not above, Connor, based on the things that he's done.
The first one was PG-13. Now, how did that go?
It was kind of a middle-of-the-road film that felt like it should have come out in 2012, in my opinion.
And since then, we've had Deadpool, Logan, The Suicide Squad, lots of really great...
Joker.
Lots of really great R-rated movies, Shaun. Like, so many superhero movies that made a lot of money that are R-rated. So clearly, there's a market there if you want to tell that story and if your story is good. But what if we took Venom, a character who is notoriously R-rated, and made a PG-13 again? What if we did that?
Oh, double down, a combined total of PG-26. I don't like that. But it's Carnage,
Yeah.
Carnage is in this.
Yeah, he's notoriously a nice guy.
No, he's not. It just means that not to say every movie has to have blood and guts and gore, but it's
Venom and Carnage.
It's Venom and Carnage. It should be, it's not even, even don't kill the human, just let Carnage bite Venom's arm off. That's and then it's two aliens fighting each other. It'll be fine, but it's just going to be a really nothing movie where any fight scenes is just going to be two people sparring, essentially.
Yeah, and I think it just cuts off a lot of story ideas, especially for Venom and just in that world. If you're going to do a Venom movie, I think R rating just helps rather than hinders. You don't have to constantly be doing really gruesome shit. But I think as a character, if you have one or two moments throughout the film where you go, oh shit, this guy's a bad dude, or oh shit, that's Venom, that's actually Venom.
That's the thing, but they're leaning so hard into the anti-hero thing. He's more hero than anti-hero, really.
Yeah, and I don't understand that they can look around and see all these movies make, especially the Suicide Squad and stuff like that. All these movies are making money, and people are liking them because they get to go all out. And it's not going to hinder your audience by doing this. Now, of course, you'll get more people in to watch Venom when it's PG-13, but I think you're bringing more people in to hinder the story slightly.
Yeah, you're appealing to a broader pool.
What are the Venom comics like?
Pretty grim, as you can imagine. There's a lot of body horror stuff going on, which even on its own could warrant an R rating. Because it's twists. It should be weird and it should be gross and messy. And Venom varies depending on who's writing them. Sometimes he is more just a friend of Spider-Man. At the minute, I think the Venom symbiote is an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's bonded to Flash Thompson.
No way.
Yeah, so Flash was paralysed, and then the Venom symbiote lets him walk again, and they have this mutual thing that he's Agent Venom now, he's called. It's really cool.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty class. But Carnage is just always a twisted monster.
He's a serial killer.
Like, he's a serial killer. He'll cut a man in half. He will, like, string entrails around the place if needs. But, like, he is pure evil. He's evil, basically. That's how he's set aside.
But this is all designed for the Tom Holland... The Tom Holland Spider-Man to come in here, surely. They're not, like, sticking to PG-13 with Carnage and Venom, unless they're thinking Spider-Man's coming in.
I was thinking about this. I was talking about it with a friend of mine recently, and if Garfield were to show up in Far From Home, and you kind of rebuild the trust in that character, just send him back to Sony.
And Sony
that's
have
Sony
him.
Peter Parker.
Oh, shit. That could be a whole other... Yeah.
Like, you could
now, that's to say if he wants to do it again.
If he wants to do it again. But I think he might give it another shot. Because if Spider-Man's in it, then it's still Kevin... I think Kevin Feige, by the contract, anytime there's a Spider-Man movie, he has to produce it.
Yeah, but it's a Spider-Man movie maybe starring Tom Holland? We don't know.
Maybe. Look, I don't know. I just think it'd be cool. Because if they introduce the concept of the Spider-Verse in live action, then you can have two Spider-Men operating independently. That would be fine.
We thought it was going to go Miles Morales, because they would own that. But what if they went Andrew Garfield and brought him back? Or Tobey Maguire?
Oh my God. I don't think I know, because we've had Topher Grace as Venom, and I feel that's too much of an adjustment for him to make.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Yeah, no, Andrew Garfield comes in. He then stars in his own movie that's only Sony based. They make all of the money. Then they say, Tom Holland, fuck off. We now have Spider-Man. Then Andrew Garfield's like, I'm out too. I'm very old. I don't want to do this movie anymore.
And you pass it along. And Morbius fits in somehow as well.
Jared's just around. Jared's there.
He's just standing around doing nothing. Michael Keaton is also in that universe.
Yeah, because there's a Sinister Six going on, Sean.
Yeah, maybe. All I'm saying.
Let's refer back to JB Smoove. What did you say? There's a Sinister Six. JB
guys, lads, everything you said is true. Yeah.
So, Sean, that is it for this week's Movie Mondays. We will be back next week with our Shang-Chi review, because
hell yeah,
I'll have a few extra days. Now, unless I might forget. Give me a text.
Okay, I'll text you the morning we're due to record, and you'll figure it out then.
Thank you very much.
But would you like me to take us out, Connor?
Yes, please.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to this episode of Movie Mondays. We'll be back on Wednesday with Weird News Wednesday, Friday with Hero or Zero, and next Monday with another Movie Mondays. Big thanks to all our patrons over on Patreon. Help keep the show going, help support us every month. And they also get movie review shows as a little bit of a reward. Speaking of Andrew Garfield, we recently actually talked about his first Spider-Man movie, Amazing Spider-Man, and it was a movie. So... yeah. Listen to that if you want to hear our thoughts. But big shout outs go to Please Get Vaccinated, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, Aquaman, Cyborg, Green Lantern, Green Arrow, Black Canary and Zatanna. Those lads are all new patrons, it turns out, and we got Batman on board.
We got Batman on board. Oh shit, he's notoriously grumpy.
Big thanks also to Ciara Lawler, David Clarke, Ed Ball, Joe King Shark, and then 7 Doos, King Shark, and then 7 Doos, then King Shark, 7 Doos, King Shark Bernie, Róisín Schrödóisìn Hally, who it was Róisín's hen party the weekend, it turns out. I'm going on the stag do next week, so that'll be fun.
You got invited?
I got invited. Turns out I'm cool now, Connor.
Oh, that's interesting.
Well, when you watch Shang-Chi in time, you get afforded certain benefits.
Damn it. I can't go. I got to go watch Shang-Chi.
That's it. That's the reason. But no, I hope you had a great time, Róisín. Thanks also to Ryan Right Time Evanson, Shaun Heroes Don't Do That Jamieson, Dominic, Jessiah Florida Gal Green, Anna Go Ducks Hjelmroos, Lil Dicky, This One Time at Bandcamp McGrew. Hope that sentence continues over the weeks. Thanks also to Danny McLaughlin, Ray. I wonder if the next one will be Spiderman Home and Away Luke Hoth. And I can't believe Wanda did this. Thanks everyone for the support, really do appreciate it. Head on over there if you want to hear our reviews. You can also follow us on all the social medias, they're all linked below. But the best way you can ever help the show is by telling one human being that we exist.
Just a one, please.
And I think that's about it, Connor.
I think so. So I've been Ciara Lawler.
I've been Shaun Leon.
And we shall see you next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.